One of Psychos' first feats is the control of the Garou puppet. Seemingly a monster of its own, Psychos is able to telepathically control Garou and supply it power. The range adversely affects strength and output of the puppet. The closer she is, the stronger Garou becomes. Psychics are able to apply force at a distance. She takes this to the next level with her 300 times gravity attack. It was made that much stronger when Psychos used the walls of the base to entrap and then condense Tatsumaki into a heat ball. This would be fatal depending on the hero, especially because of how quickly this attack takes effect. Heroes like Metal Bat may not have a chance to charge Fighting Spirit high enough to make a difference. Metal Knight is pretty much out of the picture here unless he manages to fire off projectiles at Garou, which she could potentially block with her barrier. I definitely see guys like Darkshine, Goketsu, Phoenix Man, Genos, and a few others dealing with this attack pretty easily, especially if you attack from a distance, but I also think the others would resist the attack physically and even break out just as Tatsumaki did. Her defensive barrier can be summoned very quickly, but doesn't seem to be the strongest in the series defensively. Child Emperor's invisible film may be as strong as her barrier, give or take the fact that Tatsumaki blew right through it with some rocks. The puppet would not be able to block or deflect Rover's bombs or even Evil Natural Water's jets. The Garou puppet also has a powered up Berserker state. As previously mentioned by Evil Eye, Psychos managed to make him stronger by implanting several psychic organs into his body, specifically the eyeballs of previous psychic users. In the Berserker state, these eyes can be found all over its body as they open wide and intensely. In this state, Garou's psychic output is increased dramatically. The paralyzing technique she used against the Garou that had just fought Rover would be much more powerful in this state, as well as her 300 times gravity and her thunderstorm attack. While her thunder attack didn't necessarily harm Tatsumaki, it did surprise her enough to compliment Psychos on it. The puppet was able to control the organs she had lost and channel their psychic powers into a thunderous attack. Once you get past her puppet, you have to deal with her secret elixir, a power-up in a bottle that allows her to briefly compete with Tatsumaki. And I do mean briefly. After drinking the elixir, she was able to pull down Tatsumaki using psychic force and showed no signs of tiring. Her most dangerous ability is her laser eyes, probably as powerful as the cannon Genos let off in Chapter 9. The speed of this attack is its greatest advantage. Imagine Flashy Flash or Drive Knight trying to blitz Psychos head on. As long as she can react, she could potentially beat or injure some big boys. Let me emphasize that Phoenix Man would body Psychos. So would everyone else on this list. She should definitely switch places with Phoenix Man at the very least if she's going to stay on the list. But her efforts against a struggling Orochi are proof of her resilience. Again, I'm not implying that Psychos can beat Homeless Emperor or EC or even Fear Ugly, but her intellect is responsible for how this arc played out. You could even argue that the feat of flipping Tatsumaki's shield to trap her instead of protect her was a feat for Psychos and not Sairochi. You could also argue that she would be able to deal with Gums because of how she pulled down Tatsumaki during her struggle. She's also responsible for the creation of Orochi and accidentally Evil Natural Water. With all that being said, she holds the 29th spot.